Hello and welcome to one and all. In today's class, we will move on to the next topic, the next problem faced by the farmers, that is marketing of their produce, that agricultural marketing in India. So, what is the meaning of agricultural marketing? So, agricultural marketing, proper marketing, refers to selling of agricultural produce in the market at the market price. This is proper agricultural marketing. Okay, so the main thing is the produce have to be sold in the market, then only the farmers will be able to get that market price. Okay, there are so many problems they are facing in bringing the commodities to the market, and because of those problems they are selling it in the local areas. Either they are selling it to the local areas, that is the local mandis they will say, isn't it? So either they are selling it at the local mandis, or they are forced to sell their commodities to the traders or middlemen or money lenders because they have borrowed the money. So in all these cases what is happening, they are not able to sell at the market price, so they are getting much lesser than the lesser price than what they are eligible to receive. So there is a definition given by National Commission on Agriculture. According to the, as per National Commission on Agriculture, agricultural marketing is a process. So it is a process which starts with the decision to produce a saleable farm commodity, a saleable farm commodity, and involves all aspects of market structure of the system. All aspects of market structure of the system. So it's mentioned it is a process. So there are several processes, there are several stages involved before the farmer finally sell the commodity to the consumer. Then only the farm commodity will become saleable. Otherwise, if it is those stages are not undergone properly, then the farmers will not be able to sell the commodity at the market price. Okay, so let us check out what are all the stages, what are all the processes involved in agricultural marketing, so that the produce of the farmers will become saleable. So there is the stages in marketing. So the first stage is assembling. So assembling is nothing but bringing together, gathering the produce of all the produces of all the farmers in the village at a particular place. Okay, that is assembling of the produce. After assembling, bringing together the produce of all the farmers in the village, they have to be separated according to their quality. So that is what is known as grading. And then the third stage after grading, the third stage is processing. So processing is making the produce edible, useful for final consumption. Like husk has to be removed from paddy, so it has to be useful for the final consumption by the consumer. Like you are giving a farm utility to the particular commodity. So that is the processing. And then the third one is storage. So the processed commodities have to be properly stored in godowns or warehousing facility. For that, there should be a warehousing facility with the cold storage capacity. Because most of the agricultural produce, they are all perishable. So if they are not stored properly at at the correct temperature, and then it will become useless. So they will not be saleable. So they have to be properly stored in godowns or warehouses. And then the next one is the when it is ready to be shifted or transported, they have to be properly packed. That is packing. After packing, they should be uh, there should be a proper transportation facility available to transport the goods. So transporting, and after all this done, finally we come across the farmers come across the last stage where he can distribute, that is distribution or marketing. So if the agricultural produce is going through all these stages properly, so these are all the processes involved. So if all these stages are undergone properly, then only the farm commodity will become saleable, and that is what is agricultural marketing. Then only the farmer will be able to sell the commodity at the market price. So if all these stages are not undergone properly, then the farmers will not be able, first of all, he will not be able to bring it to the market, and he will not be able to sell the commodity at the market price. Okay, so what most of the farmers they are doing, because so several defects they are facing. Because of that defects, they are selling the commodity in the local mandis. So local mandis, or they are forced to sell the commodities to either to money lenders or to the traders, commission agents, brokers, etc. So, what is the reason? Local mandis, either they don't have the storage facility, either they don't have the transportation facility, and immediately after the harvesting, they cannot wait, or because of poverty, they need money immediately. So, whatever might be the reason, they are selling it in the local mandis, or they might have borrowed money from money lenders, or they might have borrowed money from the traders. So they are all the middlemen. So in all these cases, they are not getting the market price. They are selling much lesser than the market price. So this is the problem faced by the majority of the farmers in our country. So that is because of so many defects are there in the agricultural marketing. So let us talk about what are all the defects in agricultural marketing in India. So the first defect they are facing is they don't have the proper storage capacity. So lack of storage facilities. So it has been said that uh, whatever the storage facility which the farmers are having in our country, wherever they are storing, it has been said that nearly 10% to 20% are eaten away by rats. This is the kind of storage facility the farmers are having. So because of what will they do, they will not, since they are not able to store their commodities properly, immediately after the harvest they are selling it in the local mandis, even though the prices are not favorable to them, even though the market conditions are not favorable to them, they are forced to sell it in the local mandis because they don't have the proper storage facilities immediately. So they have, as it is after the harvest is over, the supply will become more. Whenever the supply becomes more, then the price comes down. On the top of it, they are not able to store the commodities properly, so immediately they are selling the commodities in the local mandis at a much lesser price than the market price. So that is the first problem they are facing. Then the second problem they are facing is lack of transport facilities. So what is the main mode of transportation facilities to the farmers? They have only the bullock carts, isn't it? So how far the bullock carts can travel, and on the top of it, the roads, the rural roads are not proper also. So again, because of this problem, they are not able to bring the agricultural produce to the market, which is quite a far at a far away places. So in again, they are selling it only in the local mandis, or they are selling it to the traders or the commission agents at a much lesser prices. Then the third problem faced by them is malpractices in the market, or even if they are bringing to the able to cross all these barriers and bring that produce to the market, or even in the mandis, they are cheated in several ways by the middlemen. See, even if they bring the produce to the market, they are ignorant. They don't know how to sell the commodities directly to the customers. In the market also, they are depending upon the middlemen to sell the produce to the directly to the customers. So these middlemen, they cheat the farmers in several ways. So basically, there are several malpractices. They are cheated by the middlemen or brokers. In what are all the way they are cheated? First, they use false weights and measure, because taking advantage of the ignorance of the farmers, they use false weights and measures, and they charge loading and unloading charges. In whatever mode of transport they brought their produce to the market, that loading charges, unloading charges, everything has to be borne only by the farmers. So the loading charges and unloading charges, so all those charges have to be borne by the ignorant farmers. And another thing what these brokers do is, they take too much of produce in the form of samples. Too much of produce are taken in the form of samples. Or another, apart from that, there are so many unspecified charges. Other unspecified, or what you call the miscellaneous charges. You have to pay for this, you have to pay for that. So like that, they uh, cheat the farmers in so many way, because these farmers are ignorant. Okay, and they take too much in the form of commission also. So these are all the some of the malpractices that are indulged by all these brokers or the middlemen in the market. Okay, again, because of this reason also they are selling it in the local mandis. Then the next one is the lack of grading system. Because of the uh, lack of grading system, what is happening? All products, all the assembled products of the first stage we have seen, isn't it? The assembling of all the produce of all the farmers of the village. So all products are mixed up. So since all the products are mixed up due to the lack of grading system prevailing in the rural area, the farmers who are producing the better or the superior quality, they are not able to get the better price. So mixed up, and the farmers who produce or who want to sell the graded good is unable to get the better price. And finally, lack of market information. So lack of most important thing, what market information they need? First of all, they are unaware of the prevailing market price. So the farmers, they are unaware of the current market price. So if they are, what is the price for this commodity prevailing as of today in the market? So if they are aware of, if they know what is the market price, then they will definitely they will try to sell their commodity at the market price. Since they are unaware of whatever the current market price that is prevailing in the market, so they are selling again at a lesser price. Okay, so these are because of the poorness and the ignorance of the farmers. All these middlemen, they are all taking advantage, exploiting the farmers of the country. So finally, they are selling it at the local mandis. Even in the local mandis also, they are cheated by all these brokers and commission agents, or they are cheated by the money lenders. So this is what uh, the conclusion is: the farmer is not able to get a better price for whatever the produce he has produced in the farm. Okay, so these are all the various defects in agricultural marketing. See, it is not enough if the farmer is provided the proper agricultural inputs, if the farmer is provided the irrigation facilities, everything. But finally, after undergoing all this, if the farmer is not able to sell the commodity at a proper price, see, everything is a waste, isn't it? See, he is undergoing all this to get a better money income. See, if that is not being done, then whatever the efforts done by the government is a waste. There is no use for getting implementing the land reforms. There is no use in implementing the green revolution, isn't it? Finally, if the farmer is not able to get a better price for his produce, so in marketing also, the government has taken certain measures. So government measures. So the first measure the government has undertaken is establishing the regulated markets. So this regulated markets, see, the government passed an act known as the government passed an act known as State Agricultural Produce Marketing Development and Regulation Act. And based on this act and established regulated markets, regulated markets. The main reason of establishing regulated markets to eliminate the malpractice. We have seen, isn't it? There are several malpractices: loading charges, unloading charges, too much taken in the form of samples, false weights and measurements. So all these brokers are involving in all these cheatings, isn't it? So mainly to eliminate the malpractices in the market. Okay. So first it was started in the year 1951. And so the farmers, some of the aims of the regulated markets is ensure remunerative prices. Now the farmers need not have to depend upon the brokers or the traders. So they can directly sell it to through the regulated markets. So these regulated markets ensure remunerative prices to the farmer. So there will be a notice board there in the regulated market that is mentioning about what is the prevailing price for that particular commodity on that particular day. So the farmer will be aware of what is the current market price. So which will, and it is the fair prices assured for the farmers. So ensuring remunerative prices to the farmers. And the next one is narrow down the price spread between the producer and the consumer. How the narrowing down the price spread between the producer and the consumer, because in between there is a, whatever the farmer is getting is very less, whatever the price paid by the consumer is very high. So in between, it is taken away in the form of commission by all these commission agents and the traders. So by mentioning what is the current price prevailing for that particular commodity, so this is both the consumers are also benefited as well as the farmers are also benefited by reducing the, since there is no commission agents involved here. So there is no gap between what the farmer is getting and what the consumer is paying. Whatever the consumer is paying, that is going to the farmer. That is narrow down the price between the producer and the consumer, and reduce, even if there are uh, middlemen involved, reduce non-functional margins of the traders and commission agents. So there will, in the notice board, there will also be the list of what are all the, who are all the licensed traders and commission agents. Those commission agents names will be mentioned in the notice board, and then it will also be mentioned, even if the government is allowing the commission agents, what should be the maximum commission that has to be charged by each and every commission agent. That will also be mentioned clearly. So because of that, reduce the non-functional margins. That is, they cannot charge extra, they cannot charge more commission, they cannot make more profit than what is prescribed by the government. Only then the commission agents will be given the licenses. Apart from the regarding the price, what is the standard weights and measures? So apart from that, what is the standard weights and measures to be used? So all these are will be mentioned in the regulated markets. So because of all this, the malpractices of the middleman is cheated and the farmer is able to get the better price for their produce. So instead of selling through the brokers and commission agents, the farmers are in most of the places they have the government has established the regulated markets, and Punjab is having the highest number of regulated markets in the country. So the farmers can sell through the regulated markets. So that is the first step. And then the second uh, step taken by the government is grading and standardization. So in order to avoid the mix-up of the products of superior quality as well as the inferior quality, the government has enabled the farmers to grade and standardize their product. So here also the government has passed an act known as the, there is something called, and passed an act, that is agricultural produce grading and marketing act in 1937. So under this, the government has the government set up several grading stations. So all these graded products, they are stamped with a seal known as the seal known as Agmark. So this is the seal given by the Agricultural Marketing Department of the country, of Agricultural Marketing Department. So all the agricultural products which are sealed with the Agmark symbol, they represent the standard quality, so they fetch a better price. So Agmark goods indicate superior quality and fetch better price to the farmers. So this is the identity of the uh, indicating the superior quality of the produce. So that is the AGMA. All the agricultural products, they are stamped with the AGMA seal or the symbol. Okay. Then the next step undertaken by the government is establishing the warehousing facilities. So we have seen is that if the farmers are not able to store their commodities, even the whatever the storing facilities they are having is eaten away by pests and rats. So what the government has done? So government has set up several warehouses and godowns have been set up in villages. So the government also set up the Central Warehousing Corporation in 1957. Apart from this, each state have set up the states have set up the state warehousing corporations. So different states they have set up their own warehousing corporation, that is the state warehousing corporation. Apart from this, we also have the Food Corporation of India, FCI, that is the Food Corporation of India, which again stores purchases and stores the produce of the farmers at the national level. Okay, so most of these godowns, the most of these warehousing facilities, they are having even the cold storage facilities also. And if you are reading your textbook, you will come across a term called, there are two types of storage. Let me move on to next page. You will come across a term. So there are two types of storage. One type of storage is covered godowns. So this covered godowns is the normal or the usual storage space for, regularly used storage space by the warehousing, whichever warehouses, either the central or the state or Food Corporation of India, whatever. It is a normal storage space. So covered godowns is the normal or usual storage space. And apart from that, there is something called as the cover and milk. So this is cap storage, popularly called as the cap storage. So this storage is it is a temporary one. So it is a temporary storage space facility created. Sorry, it is a temporary storage facility created. I mean, if there is any surplus produce, surplus have to be created, or fresh procurement is undertaken by the Food Corporation of India. So if there is any temporary storage facility is required, for that this one is created. Okay, so it's temporary storage facility for any extra or fresh procurement. So if you're reading your textbook, you will come across these terms. So these are all the two types of storage. Okay, and then the next step taken by the government is providing the market information. So basically, what are the prevailing price in the market? So through various means, one is through All India Radio. So All India Radio and Doordarshan. So in All India Radio and Doordarshan, so periodically, periodically in the sense the weekly, the trends in the market prices. So the trends in market prices are weekly reviewed. So this can be either they have a special talks or a special programs are conducted. So weekly special programs. So that the current market prices are for of agricultural produce are reviewed in the through All India Radio and Doordarshan. Apart from that, there is something called as the Kisan Call Center. So KCC with a toll-free number. With a toll-free number 1800 180 155. So all these are to enable the farmers to get the latest market information, especially about the price. Okay, and also what commodities the government, the Food Corporation of India is going to purchase for this coming season. So like that, any relevant, any important information can be obtained by the farmers. Then the next one, what the government has done is support prices. So periodically the government announces there is something called as minimum support price. There are two prices. One is the minimum support price, popularly known as the MSP, and another one is the procurement price. So, what is the difference? I will the next topic you are having the agricultural prices. I will explain to you what is the difference between the two. Basically, the minimum support price and procurement price are announced by the Food Corporation of India. There is a commission called as the Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices, popularly known as CACP. So the CACP advises what prices have to be paid to the farmers. That is reasonably remunerative to the farmers. That is minimum support price. So similarly, the procurement price. What should be the procurement price? What should be the minimum support price? So the price should be reasonably high enough for the farmers so that he will be able to survive. He will be getting a fair price for his commodities. So that support prices is announced by the Food Corporation of India. So Food Corporation of India purchases the produce from the farmers by paying this minimum support price or the procurement price. So this price is advised by the CACP. Okay. So the main idea is the farmer should get a fair price or a fair remuneration for his commodity. Okay. Then apart from that, the other measures undertaken by the government is all the uh, physical roads and communication. That is the physical connectivity. So physical connectivity, economic connectivity. So economic connectivity by establishing banks and other financial institutions. Electronic connectivity by the network of phone, internet, Wi-Fi, etc. And then discouraging or encouraging, instead of discouraging, encouraging the farmers to sell through regulated markets. So instead of selling to the uh, traders or commission agents and any other modes, encouraging the farmers to sell through the regulated markets and reducing the transportation cost. This Raitu Bazaar, the novel idea in Andhra Pradesh, directly eliminating the middlemen, directly selling the commodities to the customers. So Raitu Bazaars and standard weights and measurements. So if they are selling through regulated markets, all these are ensured. Standard weights and measurements. And we have already seen warehousing facilities even in the rural areas. So wherever in all these areas, whatever possible, the government is undertaking all those steps. And current trend, what is the apart from all this, what is happening in the currently, that is a modern market approach. So currently we have seen the supermarket revolution. So now we have seen the other day, we have already discussed, isn't it? I mean, I explained to you. Nowadays, mostly all these MNCs are entering the Reliance, Mahindra and Mahindra, Mother Dairy. So like that, all these Spencers. So all these MNCs are entering. This is happening after the globalization. Now they are directly purchasing the produce from the farmers, and they are providing all the facilities to the farmers, right from supplying to the agricultural inputs, providing the financial or the credit facilities, providing them the storage facilities, enabling them to grade their products, and finally purchasing the products from the farmers directly. So this is the current modern market approach, which we are an agri supermarket revolution by the entry of MNCs. So this is the current trend we are having in the agricultural marketing. So because of all this, from what it was once upon a time, from where the government, the farmers are selling the local mandis, so they have come a long way because of all the steps undertaken by the government in selling the commodities. So now mostly majority of the farmers, they are able to sell the commodities in the market at the market prices. Okay, so this is the various defects and measurements for agricultural marketing in India. Okay, so if you find this video useful, please like, share, and also subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss any topics. Okay, so until my next class, take care. Bye bye.